Hi, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk mountain weather and ski conditions. And we'll start out with this live cam from Schweitzer Mountain Resort up there in northern Idaho. Beautiful day. 184 inches so far this season. It's going to be a while though. And Schweitzer's story is the story of the West, the Intermountain West in general right now. It's a big dome of high pressure with all the weather going up into British Columbia and Canada. And then there's also going to be a cutoff low. So we'll talk about both of those, but love that view up there at Schweitzer right now. So let's get into the radar and the satellite analysis here, and you can kind of see what we've got going on. Yeah, there's a little bit of a skiff of blue coming through Idaho, but that's not much. I mean, obviously it's not a big organized storm system or anything like that. Most of the weather is going to continue to go up towards Canada, especially when you see what the flow is going to be like over the next few days. All right, so the other part of this is this cutoff low. You know, there are two areas to watch, really. It's up there in British Columbia, and then this cutoff low, which is kind of sitting out here. It will basically then get picked up on the southern branch of the jet, the subtropical jet, and begin to be escorted in through southern Cal and Arizona, New Mexico, southern Utah, and Colorado. Those are the places with that to watch as we slide through the week. But this is something I haven't shown this in a while. Normally we'll do the jet stream, but let's just go a little bit lower than the jet. Let's look at the middle of the atmosphere here at about 18,000. You can see that cutoff low, that area, that sort of area of cooler colors right there over the Pacific. Watch what happens with it as I put this into motion. We'll go from today into Thursday morning. You can see where that goes. Basically, that's your low right there. That's the dip in the middle of the atmosphere. That's the low pressure. That will then get escorted in and affect the Four Corners. And that's the place. If you're going to be skiing late in the week, I would look at southern Utah. I'd look at parts of southern Colorado. I'd look at New Mexico and Arizona. And then what happens after that? Okay, so you can already see the next dip coming in, that blue area up there in the flow coming out of the Gulf of Alaska, dipping down into the Pacific. That would be the next area to watch. But that takes us, weekend into next week at that point. So, all right, so that is Thursday at 5:15 in the morning. That slides out, and we're going to have a couple of dry, warm days after that happens. But this is Sunday at 5 a.m. Notice there's a little bit of a trough or dip kind of sliding through the Intermountain West. And I'm going to try to draw that right there. And then right there, you see that little dip right there? That may represent a storm system that totally gives itself up and gets destroyed to try to break down this ridge. That may slide a little bit of precip through the Intermountain West over the weekend, but the real game is out here still in the Pacific. What we need is a larger type of storm with jet support at all levels to come in and break this high down to bring storminess back. And we might have to wait until next week for that to happen. So that is the pressure pattern in the middle of the atmosphere. Let's look at the future radar and the satellite to track the precip here across the west. And like I said, this is going to be a challenging time with most of the major action sliding up into British Columbia, Canada, and then we'll start to focus on the southwest with this cutoff low. So that is the view today. And notice that Wednesday, there's just nothing there across the west in general. It's going to be a warm day with high pressure, warm temperatures, which will certainly impact the snowpack across the west, because I'm even forecasting temperatures above freezing at many of the ski areas across the west at the base level. The base areas of these ski areas are going to be very warm on Tuesday, and for the most part probably Wednesday as well. So that's going to crust up a lot of these places, and the snowpacks, we're going to start to facet some of the snowpack layers. All right, so by Thursday morning, this is the other game to watch. This is the low that's coming in on the subtropical branch. I showed you that even at 18,000 feet. So this is it throws an arc of snow and even rain at some levels into Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and even Colorado. I'm tracking a rain snow line in some of the forecasts I'm doing. But that will then get, kind of escorted into Colorado. And it kind of brushes the Wasatch with snow. Most of the actions in southern Utah, more so into Bryan Head, and it probably will brush Sundance with some snow as well. But if I were skiing on Thursday or Friday, I'd look at Telluride, Silverton, Wolf Creek, Taos, Bryan Head, and those areas, even Monarch in Colorado for some of the better snow amounts. And that would take us into Thursday morning. Now that storm would then slide through. By the time we get to Thursday night and the Friday morning, it's long gone, and that's the end of it. Everything slides away, and then we refocus on what's next. So between Friday and Saturday, there's not a lot there. Some cloudiness slides through by Saturday morning. Now this goes to what I was talking about earlier. There was that trough in the pattern, and so there's this little batch of moisture that kind of slides through the Intermountain West, but it's hitting that high, it's being destroyed, it's running into dry air, it doesn't have enough to really break it down. So you have to look to the Pacific out here and this next low pressure. That is really what's going to be coming in next week that may hold some more superpowers, if you will, to be able to break down this high pressure. So as far as snowfall, boy, look at that. There's just nothing into tomorrow morning for the lower 48. Even on Thursday morning, we just start to see some of the accumulation coming out of the desert Southwest with this cutoff low, but it accumulates during the day, and that makes Friday probably the better day to ski Bryan Head. And look, it does brush the Wasatch, Sundance, a little bit more there. I would focus on the San Juans, the southern mountains of Colorado for some of the better snows, Silverton, Purgatory, all the way down into Wolf Creek, and you could probably look at Taos by Friday as well. It looks like Whistler Blackcomb does okay. They're up to a foot by Friday. By the time we get into Friday afternoon, Friday night, and Saturday morning, that whole area of low pressure, that cutoff low, will slide away, and that's kind of it. I would say by Saturday, I'd look back towards the Pacific Northwest. Baker's number goes up. Whistler Blackcomb goes up by Saturday morning. That might be the place it might be the quadrant or zone to ski by Saturday morning. Now, as we work our way past Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and into Sunday morning, this will take us into the last part of this forecast. At this point, again, there might be that little area of moisture, or a little dip in the pattern that comes through, parts of Utah and Colorado, but we're going to have to wait until next week to see a bigger change, I think, in the pattern. And by that, I mean Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And, at that point, we're already a week beyond out past what we're looking at right here. So I'll keep things updated here. Always appreciate you tuning in here. Have a good day and take care.